Games.
Position in the upper bracket quarterfinal. Sorry, semi-final is at stake. Julie's out for Roy. P250 for Jame. Best gun in the game. And there's a focus towards B for the time being. Outsiders took fnatic for a ride on Mirage. Now, have fnatic adjusted? Last time Overpass was somewhat brutal. But can they solve the mystery of the outsiders? As we can see, Jame is the information man. That additional range of the P250 will allow him to find out what the climate is like upstairs. Sun's definitely out. Get the fishing hat on.
Sun's out, guns out.
Don't want to burn your forehead.
Absolutely. Yeah, if you thought outsiders play slow in general, wait until you see outsiders on Overpass. They will be methodical as hell on this map. That is their key to victory. But finally, they're converging on this B-bomb site.
Oh, the Julies are good for one, but Fasha will deliver two. That's fantastic for fnatic. KRIMZ here as well. And suddenly, Jame has 28 seconds and a bomb.
I mean, you're not saving, right? You can't tell me he's going to save
He
this.
could be with the Kevlar, but I'm not convinced.
Yeah.
Doesn't check the angle. One more for Fasha. The start they needed, you can hear it already. They're happy with that. 3 for Fasha, smiles for Qikert, 1 round for fnatic.
Definitely nice to get this good start, especially considering fnatic used all their timeouts in the first half on the last map. And then, when they were getting destroyed in the second half, they had no timeouts left. They didn't have the chance to have a chat with Qikert as to what they needed to fix. So getting off to a good start, definitely nice for them. And again, outsiders never like to force this second round. If they've not got good money, they pretty much always go for this save. Try and get that gun round out as soon as possible.
Qikert is very valuable with those timeouts as well. He's got intergalactic-sized nerd brain for Counter-Strike.
I remember talking to him once, asking him, do you have anything to do on media day? And he said, thankfully, no. I get to just focus on the CS, focus on the prep. That's all he wants to do.
Another quiet round from outsiders. But it's these rounds are so interesting. I think a round like this is like the outsiders offer the most interesting version of it, because they really focus on getting everything out of every scenario. A burst. Very nice work from Fasha. Great weapon for the job as well. Got to be careful with connector. No one falls just yet, and they'll easily be dealt with on this occasion. But let's not forget how many rounds we saw, like one rifle, one for outsiders, and what they were able to do with it. Maybe those rounds will come later, but they always have a plan.
Money will be built up for fnatic, though, thanks to that round win. And yet again, when you save that second round, Jame will not be able to afford the AWP. And this looks like a common theme for Jame. He's just happy to go with a Tech 9 in these initial gun rounds. I don't mind it. If there's an early trade, he can always pick up an AK.
That bulldozer was absurdly clean. That Fasha has. Look at that. Look at the wear on that. That's ridiculous. To find one that good is not easy. I think I know who's involved in that. We'll see if it has any more work to do in this third round. Again, outsiders. Just checking the scenery, smelling the flowers, perhaps. Heading towards the sewers. Approaching the smell of ammonia on the B-bomb site.
Oh, they're beating that smoke easily.
Yeah, and with some strength as well. Qikert looking to swing with some flashes, but Fasha has an angle. One more with the bulldozer, but fnatic will have to bulldoze without him now. Down he goes, but KRIMZ, a steady, safe pair of hands, waits on the B-bomb site. But what is around the corner? What is behind the pillar? He doesn't know. There's a creep. He sees two by the monster position. Where is the third, though? He really needs some help here. Teammates slowly on the way. But look how awkward this is. Look at the small amount of space he has to work with, KRIMZ, to try and stay alive. Flick creeping forward. Where's the rest of fnatic? KRIMZ still delivering. One more by monster. They haven't seen the bomb. That's the problem. It's on short in the hands of Jame now, who presses forward. Has KRIMZ done enough? 1 versus 2. What a tense round on the B-bomb side. Not even over just yet. nicoodoz trying to find something. May have seen a sliver of a player around that smoke grenade. We see them creeping now, working together. Fame in the red and dead. James low as well, but he wins the duel. Just about gets the frag on the board for Outsiders.
Exactly as planned. Jame just ends up picking up an AK, even though he didn't have one at the start of the round. And he's the man to close it. Even got that shot onto mezii and the trade onto Heaven. Those were massive kills from Jame, because KRIMZ did so much work on the site, man. The B-hold was really good from fnatic. Considering they had an MP9 and a FAMAS on that B site, what more can you ask for out of KRIMZ there? Getting 2 kills, Fasha getting 1, but Jame just deletes the rotation. Presses the delete key and says bye-bye. And you don't see Jame on that AK all the time, but good to see that he's put a little bit of prac in with that rifle.
KRIMZ was stuck by those barrels for so long. An inch to his left, an inch to his right. Pretty much all he had to work with there. And we're just getting started on this map of Overpass. So much tension in that round. That must have felt like an eon.
This is so sick. Jame sticking with the Tech 9 again. I actually kind of love this. Like, genuinely, on Overpass, I feel like you can get early trades and just get that AK into his hands later.
AK?
That's what
you may mean an AWP.
Ooh. Well, hey, for this round, he'll just be looking to scavenge.
He's not spending money. On A, unless it's someone else's money. B, unless it's an AWP.
Get him that AK.
He's excited. He's excited. Huh? AWP?
Oh, he's smelling it.
Oh, yeah. He's dueling with a Tech 9. All right, then. Well, that's fun. Okay, how about that for a trade? Nasty surprises on the short B position for fnatic. See if Flick creeps through that smoke. That's quite the gap he has here. He's got somewhat of an angle. Plenty of bullets with the Galil as well, but Roy is ready for it. Jame is here to trade. Suddenly pops up. Finally collecting a rifle. 1 versus 2. 50 seconds left. And he's going to use all the time he's got available.
All the way back up the ladder. nicoodoz was spotted towards A, but that was so long ago that Jame figures A long might be a good bet. I like that fnatic are investigating, though, getting inquisitive, sticking together towards B short. That means they will have that rotate up through connector. The question is, does Jame predict A is clear? And does he have the balls to plant on the bank side? I don't know if he's going to. Oh, he might, you know. Now he spotted them. Now he can plant for bank. And he's still got utility to work with in this post plant. No kit for fnatic. This is very winnable.
Has he mollied to the bank to suggest that he's not there? Perhaps he has. Disappears now. Disappears and reappears once again. 2 on the other side of the track. Slowly creeping in. Urgency rising. Jame appears. Awkward for nicoodoz now. 1v1. Nice! There's the AWP. Is there a kit, though? Has he got time?
Oh, they don't think he has it.
Oh, it's gonna be so close!
Oh.
You heard the comms from the team. I didn't want to talk over it. Just gamble it. You might have it, you might not. Let's see what happens. Didn't work out. Jame bought enough time.
Oh, it was actually so well played by nicoodoz in the micro situation here. He jumps to the right side of the truck to make this step here, then walks back to the left to get Jame. It was such a smart little play. but the time is just so close, and that is the slimmest of margins that puts fnatic down to a buy where I can't even call it a buy because they literally didn't buy anything. It's $0 invested. That sucks.
Well, that's a fun round if you're outsiders.
Is it AWP time, Jame? He's having fun with the rifles and the pistols and everything else. Surely he wants to get his main weapon. No, dude, James bought a Tech 9 again. Dude, this is... there's no way. This is so sick, man. He's just Tech 9ing. He's a Tech 9 main. He's Sanji now. He's become Sanji. What happened?
Wow, that's full circle in the weirdest way.
It's so cool, though. It's so cool. He's doing work with the Tech 9.
He's got 5,500 in the bank, and he's just rolling Tech 9. He's years ahead of the game, Jame. But maybe for the role that he's deciding to play, the moving accuracy of the Tech 9 will prevail.
Wow. Qikert's just got an entry with a nade towards B. Meanwhile, Roy playing aggressively. And this is where I think it gets awkward for Jame. I think he just threw that nade into the fountain somehow, like a coin.
Support player Jame with the grenades. Well, there's problems on the B bomb site. Fasha unable to deliver on this occasion. fnatic now with 3 players. James still with the Tech 9, carrying the bomb as well. Oh, I'll have a boost on the rail. Are they going to do it? I think they were considering it.
Well, James got a rifle now. It all works out. And he wants to plant for heaven. So maybe this is an option in the future for outsiders in this post plant.
Will they go for the boost over the top? Up high, we've got mezii. That bomb is ticking. There are no kits for these CTs. Not sure if there's one on the site, but they're continuing to press forward. Edging forward is Roy, looking deep left. Mezii's here as well, trying to play off of his teammates. 2-1-2. Jame hiding by the pillar, trying to stay alive. fnatic disengaging indeed. They've got time pressure. There probably isn't a kit as they fall away. 4th round for outsiders. Such a focus on the B-bomb site.
Yeah, listen, Qikert is the man who now takes the most supportive roles on outsiders. What a round from him. He just won them this round, all by himself. He got the nade entry onto B, and then he just took contact. He took fights onto the B site. And again, you're just seeing Jame is basically just always in these back positions, so that when a push comes towards a site, he can just get a rifle if he needs to. And I guess he just thinks the Tech 9 is really good. Which, listen, it can be. It absolutely can be. Timeout for fnatic, figuring out what is going wrong for them. I think finally Jame has decided he's got enough money in the bank. He just likes to be comfortable, Jame. You know, you should always have an emergency savings fund.
He's just saving his flick energy for the CT side. Right now, he's like a turtle lying in the sun, just warming up. fnatic struggling on the CT side. They will take 2 rifles into round number 7. Quite the focus on the B site. Will they be looking for an early frag if they are? Seems they won't be gifted one. No one in short B for outsiders.
Yeah, you actually saw outsiders throwing that smoke towards B short, so that you could, in theory, lurk out behind it. They decide not to. And this is a round where fnatic have gone to the roulette wheel. They've gone all in on B. And it might not come up for them.
Outsiders straight walking towards the A-bomb site with nobody there.
Oh, I mean, now fnatic have pushed B short, but I think it's too late. You hear this rotate back. And you're just licking your lips.
There are mollies here for outsiders. Not giving any sound cues away. Okay, things might just get awkward now. Hold on a second, mezii! Forces Flint to cancel the bomb plant, just keeps charging forward with the rifle, but now they start to lose the angles, lose position. They could creep forward through the smoke, however. They're trying to cause bedlam, mayhem, chaos, and it's working. Qikert coming in from the back. He was just covering the rotation. Fasha may have seen him. I think he might have. A crossfire with the bomb between them. nicoodoz needs to be the trade fragger here. The double peek, look at the synchronization. Torval and Dean, third round on the board for fnatic. Not one they can replicate, but they'll take whatever comes their way.
Yeah, listen, I love that for fnatic. Just take some liberties in this round. Say, you know what? Let's just group up. Let's just be a death ball. And shout out to mezii. This is so good with the AK. Getting those 2 kills onto the site is what opened it up in the first place. And finally, we get that AWP out from Jame. We've been waiting for it. We know how impactful the AWPs can be on Overpass, such a long-range map. nicoodoz has one of his own, though. And Flit is just fast into connector. These mid players have to be a little careful. Oh, it's a wallbang kill from mezii through a smoke. I doubt he saw the smoke.
I think it was through the wall into connector.
Yeah, into con, I assume.
Yeah.
Ouch.
Blowing the door off early, letting those bullets fly. M4A4 supremacy. Right, just a bit nervous on the crosshair there.
nicoodoz is terrified. Look how exposed he is, but he's sticking around.
Yeah, no rifle support for him. Switching to the AK, needs to be nimble. Doesn't know where they might come from.
Surely they've commed that Fame is still here. Fame was the one that got the frag earlier.
Let's go T-spawn, man. Why not? 4v3, still extremely dangerous. While he's alive, he can try to keep an eye on rotations in and out of connector. Fame still wondering what might be happening. Everybody is somewhat curious. Meanwhile, the bomb in the hands of Jame. Close to T-spawn. 40 seconds remain in this 2v4. nicoodoz still chilling. No need to push, really. Playing very defensive from the back of B fnatic. Still moving, though. May pick up that AWP later, once the time has really run down. Flit has $50, Jame has $100. So really, they can't be hunting for anything. They need to hold on to what they have. This can win them around, as we have seen already in this series.
Yeah, and it's kind of interesting for fnatic here as to whether it's worth them hunting. I feel like you're kind of fine letting outsiders save right here because the other players aren't going to have much to work with. You kind of awkwardly split the T economy. There is KRIMZ in the Hall of Heroes, back where he belongs. Getting a fist bump as fnatic have found a way back in. Just taking a few more liberties, taking a little more confidence in some of these setups. And now you see outsiders a little shaky on the buy. But as we have been pointing out, they are always a threat.
Quick look for a boost. And Flit will be careful to try and stay out of the line of fire as far as those wallbangs are concerned. nicoodoz very far forward indeed. He's been fairly dependable with the AWP today, but Jame is ready on this occasion. That's a big frag. Roy's turn to be left on an island. Can he escape this? I don't think he can. So many pistols. Again, this is already looking like a disaster for fnatic. I don't know that Roy makes it out of here. Flit dropped in the meantime. Qikert rotating off the B bomb side. Roy will be running low on bullets. So close. Rings the bell on Chiron, but he's still alive, and that's huge.
Decent trades here for fnatic, but outsiders could also play with the rotations now. fnatic are a little concerned about this A bomb site. They stacked it slightly more heavily. But can Jame get the right read? 40 seconds remaining. Desperately hoping someone jump peeks for info. That will not be the case. And a defensive smoke deployed by mezii. A team flash in the mix. Getting dicey with little time left on the clock. Outsiders have to play this perfectly on the A play.
Smoke is really nice to focus on defending one side, but Chiron will deliver with 2 AWPs pushing the bomb site. KRIMZ is ready, bomb carrier dropped. KRIMZ delivering now 9 seconds to get a frag and plant the bomb. Not sure about the comms on that one. Jame looking in the wrong place. KRIMZ delivers again. Very tense rounds, but again, outside is so dangerous. Be it 3 rifles, 2 rifles, just an AWP, doesn't really matter. Every round, super tense for fnatic.
Yeah, it looked like it was going to be so difficult to get in with those 2 AWPs, but once Chiron got the pick, You thought there was a chance. It's that smoke shot from KRIMZ that's massive, though. And, I mean, both Qikert and Chiron see him in the corner. You are surprised not to see Jame hard clear that angle, as you were saying. But fnatic won't care. They're 5-4 up.
KRIMZ super focused. He needs to be. They all do. Such hard Counter-Strike to play against.
That is a wild angle on the keyboard from mezii. You see so many pros with that. It just makes me uncomfortable, seeing the 90-degree angle on the keyboard almost. Ooh.
Yeah, you can see, like, look how high Qikert's mousepad is. There was an era of varying lands where the tables were quite inconsistent. Sometimes the end of the table would be kind of sharp rather than like a rounded edge. So people would put their mouse pad on the end of it just to not be so harsh on the arm. So you can still see some players, some of the older players with their mouse pads on the edge, some of the younger players with mouse pads further up. Esports has come a long way.
Yeah. Ooh, Orp into mid. Fame is burning, and he will burn. No way out, no nades to extinguish that molly. And Chiron again is getting another lesson in the outsider's philosophy. He's had to drop an AK to Flit in this round to be stuck with a Glock, no Kevlar. But we'll see if that AK can get activated on the boost. Oh, they're watching. They're ready. Oh no, the timing!
Such a sick boost. Guy below can... You can jump onto the guy below without him crouching. And you can see the effect of it. Outsiders looking dangerous once again. Just a few pistols and the AK, but it's still so uncomfortable for fnatic. Trying to isolate the fight if they can. mezii covering while grenades go towards short B. Bomb dropped. Can they stop the bleeding now? No. Roy goes down as I say that. Chiron dancing around, trying to spread for his team. In the red with 24 HP. Jame trying to cover. They'll manage to muster a bomb plant, and there's more work to be done. Jame, 1 versus 2 now. Bomb planted, hiding from the balcony. He knows where the rifler is, but where is the sniper? nicoodoz still up top. He's the man with the kit. James got the sound cues. Knows one's to the right, still dancing. Down goes nicoodoz, still alive somehow. Surely they can't do this. So expensive for fnatic. Moments ago, 4 players up. Only 1 survives as they take the round.
Oh, Jay makes it close. You see how he's trying to isolate all those angles in the clutch. And as he takes that shot through the side of the pillar, you feel like there's a real chance. You just felt like he might have the way to win it. mezii keeps it going for fnatic. And as the desk pointed out, this is a map that fnatic actually picked against outsiders in the challenger stage of the major, and they lost it 16-1. They basically won no rounds. And I think they realized outsiders are a terrifying team on Overpass. So this really is a great map for both squads. I'm glad we are getting a closer map on our hands here. Back to the buy, nicoodoz getting snuck up on. Oh, but he still flicks down to Faye.
He did just about spot a second player as well. Fall back, no. Walk forward, take the fight to them. The more plays he can eliminate, the better situation he's in. But now he knows that 2 players spells trouble. Avoids the flashbang, the scope is heard. Chiron still looking for it. A rare miss of a flick from nicoodoz. I love the aggression though. The more players outsiders have, the longer it goes, the harder it feels, more oppressive it feels. But they're dodging these bullets for the most part. Outsiders spotted here and there. And now Qikert, again, with the focus elsewhere, tries to make some inroads. He's heard the rotation from fasha, moving away from the B bomb site. And he's in the middle of B. This is unbelievable. Through the keyhole. His team aren't really in position to take advantage of this. 2 on short. They need to figure out, why is no one here? What is the makeup of this round? And how many more players can we get in towards B?
I was wondering if Qikert would flank even further to try and cut off the rotate aggressively, but he's happy to just be that pillar on the site. Heaven smoke missed. It's going to land on Qikert instead. And those B short players from fnatic will now come back to the bomb site, but do they know Qikert's on site already?
That smoke actually takes Qikert's angles
they got
away
no clue.
to help with the short B player. There's the bomb carrier, drops Qikert. Can't really see them. Look at the time on the clock as well. They needed to plant that bomb. 7 seconds. They have to plant. Jame stuck in. He's going to get barbecued.
Nice! Let's go!
Sunday roast. James on the plate. Past the pierogi. Oh, my days.
Oh,
That smoke turned out to be disastrous.
Oh, the fact that Roy is just sitting there, able to find the angle onto the bomb planter. That's crazy.
I don't know how that smoke missed that badly. Because it normally hits the inside wall on the right, collides with the shelves, and then you're good to go. That was somewhat of a calamity. Jame with time pressure standing in the fire saying, I've made a terrible mistake.
He runs in and says, nope. Tries to get out. Oh, man. I mean, listen, this is not looking like the same sort of outsiders where every round feels competitive. Like some of these rounds, I mean, that's a round that should have been competitive. But Fnatic are actually holding their own really effectively here.
Yeah, I think nicoodoz is disrespecting the last round, regardless of missing that last kill. I think that's important to make outsiders somewhat uncomfortable. Even watching this, I'm uncomfortable for Fnatic in the pacing that we see from outsiders.
Yeah, and that's what Janko was saying when he talked to Fnatic after the last time they played outsiders. Apparently Fnatic realized they were getting way more space than they were giving themselves credit for. They just needed to try and take space a little more. I think we've definitely seen that here on their CT side.
And the times in the second half where they make a mistake in that respect, they will probably be the recipient of presents from Jame. So the round difference at halftime will be important if that is to be the case. Again, the hero AK for outsiders. Every round just feels so dangerous. Look at the positions of Fnatic, playing pretty far back on A, considering the utility, but you want to hold on to that for as long as you can. 47 seconds remain. They still have one smoke, one incendiary. You can see them trying to ruin the timing, Fnatic, as far as A is concerned. But we can also see outsiders gravitating towards B. They have had chances here, even with buys like this. Counter flashes coming through. Qikert will try to spread the crosshairs with the rifle coming in behind, but Fasha will deny. No answer to this just yet from outsiders. They need to run to their doom for the loss bonus as well. They have to keep pressing forward. Still trying to get what they can. Make it expensive if you can. Flit drops the rifle. Jame dancing with the Tech 9. Running out of bullets now. 10 seconds to plant this bomb.
They've called after time here, I think. Try and get him after time if you can. Instead, he has to try and cross to the site. So Fnatic doing wise work at the end there. And yeah, I think for outsiders, that initial spacing looked really off between Qikert and Chiron. I think you can have some gap between your first and second player in, but Chiron was just so far behind Qikert. It basically gave the initial holder for Fnatic time to completely reset his spray and just completely lock in on that angle. But it is now outsiders back to a bye. And they could do with a couple more rounds here on their T side. I think Overpass, you generally expect to get more work done on that CT half, but still from outsiders, I don't think 4 would be what they were looking for. Ooh, they might have heard Roy getting toasted in connector, but he's able to get back up okay. And he doesn't have the support of nicoodoz on A this time. The AWP has decided to play B. So I think Fnatic will recede into playing a setup from the bomb sites instead. Nice nade. Ooh. Patience from nicoodoz. They just keep cycling this monster smoke, making it difficult for outsiders to pop. In fact, is KRIMZ thinking about popping through himself?
What is the play here for outsiders? Very curious to see how this one goes down. A late attempt towards A. All that pull rotation. KRIMZ elevated. Chiron not looking for it quite. There is a trade here, though. Haven't seen the bomb just yet. Attacks on A and B, and they haven't seen the bomb at all. Will it be able to rotate in time? Flit's taken control. 18 seconds, racing over. Maybe Fasha hears it. mezii will have to deliver. We know he can. Looking to his right, but Flit's on his left. Unbelievable. Outsiders keep them guessing. Push both sides at the same time. No sight of the bomb, and they make it just in time.
I mean, by Outsiders standards, that's plenty of time to spare. It was like 8 seconds when they got the bomb down.
You can see Jame like, nah, I'm out here. You run and die. That's your job. Off you go. Great work with the frags on the A bomb site. mezii left guessing. Wow. How do you even comm during that?
Yeah, that's the thing. It's just so wild. The B players will be calling, I'm seeing stuff at B. A players, I'm seeing stuff at A. Who the hell knows which way it's going?
Everyone's saying bomb question mark, bomb question mark.
Anyone seen the bomb? Anyone seen Jame?
The utility man at the back. Pushing them into B, rotating through con to A.
I love that it's Jame he's so far back in that position, he could almost just like look at his teammates' monitors if he needed to, because he's not going to take a fight. So he's the man with the bomb, and he's just looking, you know, trying to make sure he gets the proper info from his teammates. Even if the comms are hectic, maybe you have a glance over, see that A's looking pretty open.
That was a pretty awesome way to abuse fnatic sitting on the bomb sites at that timing. They know no one's in connector. And again, we can see nicoodoz has been making them uncomfortable when he's found success here. They might be expecting this one now. Flip rounding the corner. Roy's had so many important frags at the beginning of rounds from map to map. They fall back in a 5v4. We can see nicoodoz changing his position. Roy sending some love Chiron's way.
Again, Outsiders find the opening on the map. Fame will make a move on A long. There should be a rotate for fnatic, so it's not the end of the world. But this is the sort of play Fame here making that I feel like Qikert would used to make. Just a solo push by himself. Let's see if he can get something done from it.
Got to be scared of a swing with a flash. But again, bomb hasn't been spotted. Falling away from long now is bomb carrier Jame with his Desert Eagle. I feel like he's had pistols in half of these rounds. Now it's Chiron's turn to creep through, looking for the trade frag. Fasha will be deleted immediately. Outmaneuvered on B once again by an ill-equipped Outsiders. Oh, KRIMZ will surely be soon to fall. He does not read this position from Chiron. This will be a round-winning frag. Instant from Chiron, no messing about. nicoodoz still pressing forward. Holes in the defenses. Outsiders thread the needle to find likely another round in the bag.
Yeah, fnatic are just finding it so hard to cover all these choke points at the same time. And Outsiders seem to find these ways into the bomb sites. Hasn't even been about full nades or executes often. And again, heading into the last round of the half, Outsiders figure, well, we might as well hunt. We've got a good bit of money. We can commit a couple of players into trying to take stuff away from fnatic. Does Fame investigate any further? Nah, I don't think so. So an AWP and an M4 save for fnatic, but Outsiders grinding out a couple more rounds. I think 6 T rounds is already enough for them. If they can get 7, they'll be pretty happy with that at the half.
It's like they're sending Protoss probes out, just doing some scouting around the map. Gleaning the information.
James the Overlord watching it all. The one actually getting to play the game. Speaking of James, takes some damage to get through the molly, but nicoodoz stays committed on this angle. Did he see Jame cross? Looks like he may be aware of the possibility now.
They can reasonably confidently hang out here while Roy is still in connector. But as we can see, he is being forced away. There'll be some grenade damage. nicoodoz tagged. Less health than Jame. Jame always likes to show and then change his position, head elsewhere.
Confidence is crazy.
Yeah, he can't be expecting this from nicoodoz.
He saw he legged him. He's got to be assuming nicoodoz will play back.
This is what they need to do, though. But the positioning from Jame is perfect until now. Can nicoodoz get a second one? The rifle support from Roy is here. That's the bomb carrier around the corner. He can hear Roy falling back, but Roy's got a pistol, won't be enough. Fame looking for that 180. We've got a great hold in short B here. We can see Fasha holding the tunnel in the meantime. How do they solve this one, outsiders? Fame and Flit pretty low. Lovely flick from nicoodoz. That's the bomb. They know where half the remaining players are in this last round of the first half. Flit now, 1 versus 4. Quite an engaging half of Overpass we have seen. fnatic looks a bit ropey in terms of how many rounds they could get. Going 2-4 down earlier on, but they'll finish the half 9-6. A 3-round lead over outsiders. The deciding half is just around the corner. We'll see you back here soon.
Smoke on top of site, Will, in front of it.
Yeah,
I'm water.
Smoking now.
Flashing long.
They could sneak out monster, guys.
Playing
Okay.
top corner.
Okay, coming close left.
Let's see trash.
One toilet. Ready to pick on me, Will.
Yeah.
They beat, yeah.
Yeah.
Coming up.
Coming up. One long up.
Flashing.
He's 10 HP long.
Flashing behind you. Bad flash, bad
10
flash.
HP long.
Dead on.
Close.
Stay alive.
Fast life.
Sound.
Close.
8 seconds.
Nice.
Second.
Versus 2. Go ahead, take your plant. You're just doing an immense amount of damage, and you would have had a chance with 1 or 2 shots to punish back Halzerk's rush. Doesn't go their way. Complexity survived with 2 alive, but tell me that wasn't sketchy.
Yes, it was sketchy because it was a great idea from Heroic. Again, sticking to their style, their philosophy, going through these lurks, trusting them, walking around lurking, being aggressive, and having just a good medley of all these different styles is what I think defines Heroic these days. And the nose flash was brutal on Floppy's one position, and that made the map a lot scarier. But again, Fang saves the day with the 2K spray down and the dink as well. He's happy about the win. Buy comes in from Heroic again. No womp deal on Shush. Punishment for playing so well. We don't need you now, son. You've done enough.
I don't expect Heroic to have the early shortcomings that Complexity did when they were underplaying A, just trying to get into the B site without control.
Yeah.
Feels like Heroic, they're not going to give up that empty space any round. Straight from the start. That's what they do, man. They play like a fluid, leaking into all the cracks you leave. Halzerk's got to be careful as to not expose himself to bathrooms at the wrong time.
We're already seeing a little bit less tethering here for Complexity. More of the simple style, I think. Again, expectant of a lighter buy.
Good dink against TSS, but Halzerk can't finish off the kill.
Uh-oh.
Uncomfortable here. I mean, we've got Heroic.
How did they just win control of this entire site with 1 kit of utility? 1 smoke, 2 flashes, and they're in. Do we have a kit? Yes, we do on a couple of players.
Grim kicks it off with a kill. Stound bests 2 players inside bank, and then shushes Deagle, slaps back.
Both live matches on Overpass. Who do you guys have taking this one? Hashtag IEM on your social media. Very stressful series of Counter-Strike. It has been great, and the culmination is just around the corner. A 9 rounds on the board for fnatic, a 3-round lead over the 6 of outsiders who move to the CT side. Jame's been toying with them. He's been playing Tech9, Desert Eagle. He's been living his best life as a support player, but I'm sure we will soon see the AWP.
Yeah, you've got to think on CT side, it'll all be about that AWP. Spot at the upper semi-finals on the line against Vitality. The loser would have a long way back through that lower bracket, starting with a game against NIP, and no one wants to be going down to that lower bracket early. It's Outsiders with enough of a cushion, enough of a round score to have a decent opportunity here on this CT side. I think both teams will be fairly happy with that first half. But if fnatic could win this pistol, there's a chance they could run away with it. Flashes and a smoke. Peek into Monster and Flit's already gone.
The numbers game forcing their way in. Roy again, he has been an instrumental fragger for fnatic. Continues to be so consistent. Fasha flying in. And Jame has Kevlar. And I think he's going to save.
That's tough for Outsiders. That is a tough one. Because I think fnatic's best chance here on this T side is just getting off to that good start. And if you can keep the economy down, you can make it really difficult for Outsiders. Jame might not have many opportunities with that AWP if you can just keep them on the back foot. And they don't even want to let Jame save this Kevlar. They know his tricks. They're wise to his ways. And KRIMZ will make sure nothing is saved for Outsiders.
That's such an important round for fnatic. Roy is such an important fragger for fnatic. If they win this series, they need to get the banquet out for him, man. Get the Bosch, get the Gawopki, all the best cuts. Because he, just from round to round, from map to map, his frags have been so important. The early frags as well. We saw it in the first half. We see it here in the second. Outsiders have a flash. And they've got a lot of people on the B bomb site. We know fnatic won't be shy to use the timer to their advantage to try and avoid these things as well. But that pistol round is huge for them. fnatic taking both pistols in the deciding map of the series is big. As we can see, Outsiders have spent next to nothing in this round. So the real fire will come next round. All the Molotovs have been used on the middle of the map for fnatic. So when they push a bomb site, yes, it will mostly be USPs, but we've seen a lot of USP frags in this week of Counter-Strike so far.
Yeah, and Outsiders maybe feeling that B was a little quiet, or maybe realizing some nades were getting thrown towards A. Will actually come to A instead. Mezii spots them.
Ooh.
You love to spot him with the MAC-10 hit.
The buy big boards. From Fame.
Doesn't matter that much that he goes down. B's open.
Yeah, he's done his job. Just attract all of the bees, take all the stings, move all the flowers elsewhere.
That's a flash I think Roy had.
Well,
I think you can smoke heaven with that.
I mean, we've seen Molotovs used as flashes. Didn't quite work. Flashes as smokes, probably just as effective.
So I guess give the MAC-10 to Jame to try and make some money, maybe? Jame loves to get that AWP, so like any chance he can get to try and get a bit of kill reward, I'm sure he'll try and take it. I don't think there's much reason for fnatic to hunt here, though.
No, they definitely don't want to give an AK for free. I think we saw that maybe on the last map where Chiron was able to collect one. And that's just not a good idea with a team as dangerous as this. fnatic are off to the races, but the real game in the second half is about to begin. Well, part of it. We'll wait until the AWP arises in the hands of Jame before we really know what's going on. But they're in a very promising situation, fnatic. A 5-round lead, a 5-round deficit to completing the series. It would be such a big victory for them against this team specifically, regardless of where we are in the tournament. It would be such a great confidence boost for them to take down the Outsiders. fnatic will have a timeout before the proceedings begin.
Yeah, again, making sure to make the most of these timeouts. I think it's better to use them too early than too late. Especially when you know you have a pretty big opportunity to keep Outsiders down. Quick update. Oh, we got some BM on the B stream. Hell yeah, Holzak. Fitting right in over in North America.
Where's his keystone?
That's the question. Nobody knows. Got some Nico in the background there too, getting ready for his game later. That is going to be an unbelievable matchup. Right now, though, we'll see if Outsiders can start strong on their CT gun rounds. Jame has decided to stick with that MAC-10, stick with money in the bank, but they've still got rifles on the rest of the players. Problem is, we haven't seen the same form from the Outsiders riflers here. None of them are having the same level we were seeing earlier. Maybe that'll change on the CT side. B is looking stacked right now for Outsiders.
It normally is at the beginning of a round, but do you expect such a fast play? Wow! Fasher and KRIMZ, scorched earth. There is almost no sign of them. Deleted so quickly by the Outsiders. That is absolutely not the response that I think fnatic were expecting. What do they do now? You have to expect around 3 players on the B bomb site at the beginning of a round most of the time. So they can barely press on. That was a hell of a response. They barely took any damage, Outsiders. Look at the health.
Too easy for them. I mean, Jame was just running into the open with the MAC-10, but maybe that was the distraction they needed. One player on the A site itself. Smoke will make it difficult for Roy. Jumping up onto the site. He has been handled, and Fame gets another through the smoke. Nothing doing for nicoodoz, apart from that headshot, and maybe that does make things at least a little interesting. You can see Outsiders having 2 players sticking together at Dumpster, though. They're going to push side by side to make it even more difficult for nicoodoz. He needs the line up, and he's not looking the right way. So Outsiders instantly in with an initial gun round and a much-needed round win for them.
Those first 2 players from fnatic died so fast, it was like they got slayed by the admin. That was great for Outsiders. Just Jame chilling with the MAC-10 in their backgrounds, and they are on the scoreboard pretty quick. AWP is here. Jame needs a reason to buy something that's not an AWP, and he wasn't given one, so here it is. He's got the money and then some. The AWP is here early. And as we said before, now the test, the real test is here for fnatic. Maximum Outsiders coming their way. They're 4 rounds behind. They'll take a timeout of their own Outsiders.
If you could just bet on Outsiders to win whenever there was a really important round, I feel like you do pretty damn well. Whenever they need to win the round to keep them up close, they just always seem to do it. 4-round difference. But we know how quickly that can collapse.
I think mezzi's going to need a bionic arm to deal with that keyboard rotation in a year or 2. Well then, a 4-round lead, but for how long? Fasher will do his best Jame impression, rolling with pistol only on the T side. A false start in that buy round for fnatic. Again, the big focus on B, the heat map. The heat map is busy for Outsiders around the B bomb site. And Fame will just look, see what's going on from a relatively safe distance. Can't be too safe, though, against the likes of Roy and his entries. Same is true of Fasher.
Looks like Chiron is slotting in as that B rotator here for Outsiders. Now he was pointing out on the desk. He's been slotting exactly into where Norbert used to play, and that's a position that is so important. Knowing when to rotate between the sites can be a massive difference in a round. So good bit of pressure on the young man on the new addition. As for fnatic, we've got Roy, who's been so good in entries. He hears the jumping Fame, but he can't get the headshot he was hoping for. Still shows some presence, and with the bomb back on B, that's definitely not a bad thing to fake out this A site.
Where is Jame, though?
Oh, Jame's going back down to B.
You know, finding Jame is always the painful challenge. mezii forces his way forwards with the flashbang. I don't know if he's got much information for the squad. The bomb hasn't been seen, though. Roy at the front of the site. Fame starting to creep, starting to wonder. Such an important headshot for him. Now the bomb, actually I'm not sure because Flip was blind as well. So they may have spotted it, maybe they haven't. Now they certainly have. 14 seconds, Qikert activates from the barrel, plays off of Jame. And there's not much else for nicoodoz to do with 5 seconds on the clock. 2 frags in the round. And heavy losses for fnatic as they head towards eco territory.
Now, we've seen before that Roy can be that lurking player, that player who just puts presence, pressure somewhere else on the map. Maybe Outsiders had a read on that. Maybe they figured it out. Jame getting that AWP into position at the right time. Chiron having an easy frag for himself. fnatic themselves were kind of hoping to play that Outsiders style there, hitting both sites at a similar time. But you see how hard it is to get the timing window right on both sides of the map. And you've also got to say, Outsiders just took the information play at the right time, really late in the round. I feel like it's all eyes on nicoodoz for fnatic in this round. Maybe have some of the pistol players try and set him up for a trade.
It's kind of early in this half, but I'm already ignoring the pistol rounds and looking at the success rate for fnatic. The sample size is small, but the fashion in which Outsiders are winning the rounds makes me wonder when fnatic will get their next round.
Yeah.
And if it will be in isolation. This will be a great round for Outsiders to build some money.
They have just rotated a player away from B, but I think with 2 CTs here, you're still confident, and you still have nades for Monster.
Yeah, I mean, 80% of fnatic are bullet sponges right now.
As the smoke thrown from A to help. Oh, and another incendiary. I could just sit in here the whole damn time. I mean, James still got 1 more smoke, by the way, and that might get rotated down with a lineup. We'll wait and see. 30 seconds remaining. Yeah, there it is.
Do you know who first made that smoke, Hawker?
Oh, well, this smoke, or?
Oh, never mind. There's no time because the slaughter has begun. nicoodoz remains with the AK-47, and he's carrying the bomb. 15 seconds. At this point, he's at a point of no return. He will have to do some more damage if he can, but it will be just the 2 frags and no bomb plant.
I feel like Jay made this smoke. That is not the lineup.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, that's a James smoke.
Who is it? Was it Anders?
It
Was
was
it
me.
you? Okay, I figured it had to be one of the casters.
Bardolph smoke.
The Bardolph smoke.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Mine was more rudimentary though. These faster lineups made by somebody else.
These wacky kids these days with all sorts of lineups.
Because it's quite dangerous, the smoke on the other side. You never know when a team are going to burst through with a pop flash. Life is better with the one on the Monster side. All right then, fnatic. Not a perfect spy for them. Now, we heard their comments about Outsiders giving them space. I think the T side is where the real test will begin. Again, it's a similar setup in that Outsiders have Fame spotting, essentially. But this time, Jame is on long. And I'm sure his position will differ from place to place, from round to round, rather. You can see him falling back. Doesn't hang out for too long. Fame will put a smoke up there, which gives the threat of presence, and that is enough to slow things down for fnatic. Maybe burn their utility as well, trying to identify if anybody is there or not.
Yeah, and last time these teams played, it was that T side on Overpass where fnatic got literally 0 rounds. They got 15 0'd. Here they've won the pistol, but the gun rounds could be a different story if they can't figure out the puzzle that is Outsiders. 39 seconds left. Moving up towards A, heavily grouped for this A play.
Mezii dumped all his grenades to a teammate, so you know he's looking for these entries. Starting to swing now. Fame will see the shadows. The pre-fire will be here, looking for the transfer as well. And the dream might be collapsing. Fame's got such a good angle. That smoke is horrific for fnatic. He sees them coming all day, and now Roy's got 15 seconds. He doesn't know it, but he's in a 1 versus 1. Qikert's coming in from connector, but now his plant angles have gone. He's going to have to go for the truck. Qikert's inside the toilets, racing forward. There will be no plant. It's another round for Outsiders. That plant would have been a buy for fnatic.
Yeah.
but it's not.
Over on the B stream, Heroic looking good against Complexity. Yeah, that is a round, though, for Outsiders, which looks really good. And it has to be said, Fame has been fantastic as Heroic do indeed close it out. They were favorites in that one. Good to see them getting it over the line. But yeah, Fame has been so much better on this CT side. I think he had 4 kills at the half. It looked like he was having a tough game. But he's been instrumental. He's been a rock on that A-bomb site.
The smoke at the front of that site is so strong for where the CTs are standing. fnatic have to go through the smoke with obscured vision, with shadows on the floor, running into pre-fire bullets all day. Could hardly have been worse for them. And again, sample size is growing and still no rounds for fnatic. 4 rounds in a row for Outsiders. And they don't look that close. Not to me, at least.
Yeah, it feels like fnatic might be falling into that same trap. Not getting the map control they need, taking a long time in the round, and finally trying to go for an execute. But that late in the round, Outsiders are well prepared for it. They have players in position. And they have potential counter utility, which can really ruffle your feathers. This is a chance to group up and maybe go slightly faster with the pace. Test to see if that could be a solution. Fame is in the bathrooms. Close quarters combat against these pistols. And they're trying a little boost right now.
Oh, no time for that. Absolutely no time for that. Takes forever to pull a grenade out, throw it, pull your gun back out. Just the one. Maybe there's a chance for fnatic. Plant will certainly help. Jame not finding the angle that time. And now, well, 4 versus 3, not so bad. There's a molly for Chiron. That will certainly help if he can find a good angle for it. KRIMZ in one-shot range, in running strafing range, and so is Roy as well, ever dependable. KRIMZ has to get a kill here. There's only 2 of them left now. They're lining up. KRIMZ trying to stay alive. nicoodoz down to nicoodoz and Qikert, and he's found the last one as well. Massive round for fnatic. They needed that. They wiped so much money from Outsiders also.
nicoodoz making moves on the bomb site. You thought the man with the Tech 9 was going to be in trouble, but nicoodoz comes in for the trade frags. And KRIMZ buys enough time for nicoodoz to get into position, to get the info. You see Flit looking the wrong way against the silenced M4. It's all headshots, and it's a big release of energy for fnatic, because now it's actually Outsiders that might have bad money in this next round. Look at this buy.
Even a massive explosion from KRIMZ. They know what the implications of this round are. They have broken Outsiders. They've gone for a half buy, if you can even call it that, maybe something less. Big opportunity for fnatic. They cannot falter here.
And it was having the pistols that gives them the freedom. You even see in the post plant, they play forward, they take more space. It just looked so much more decisive in that round for fnatic. I think you could see the call was made. We're just going to go for a fast play. We're just going to try getting up in their faces. Why not? Nothing to lose when you've got a weak buy like that. And it pays off. But this A stack is in play for Outsiders. Oh, and a cheeky boost angle.
How do fnatic avoid losing the first man here? That is the question. The boost from Qikert's good for 2. Man advantage for Outsiders. Smoke's being dropped again, inviting them to have that horrible push. If they go through the smoke, they're going to get wrecked. 32 seconds left. In terms of utility, Outsiders have made their play. But how do they isolate the fights here, fnatic? They're a man down. They've got only a smoke.
They're still making noise at A. No reason for Outsiders to leave. This is so hard. This crossfire could be brutal, but mezii finds the flank, and maybe that's the difference maker. KRIMZ doesn't get to clear the corner, but it's all on the last man. Jame is going to tuck back, time low. nicoodoz doesn't need the plot because Jame comes back in. And mezii making the move on long that really opened up the round there.
Terrifying round, pushing the site with 6 seconds on the clock. CT falling back into the smoke. Outsiders always dangerous. Always finding the perfect stack, the perfect setup. And again, that smoke at the front of the site. If fnatic played a later round, that would have been curtains for them. Still a rough situation for Outsiders. An MP9 for Qikert, a Desert Eagle for Fame. But of course, an AWP for Jame. And that is everything in an Outsiders round. Fame still looking for information. Similar role, different weapon. But a lot of his job is just to look. We see the standard grenades, the smoke towards the toilets, the molly towards the Divider, to take the sniper angles away. This is for map control. This is to force the CTs back. But as we can see, Jame is still lurking in the toilets.
I said earlier that whenever Outsiders need a round to keep the game close, they seem to win it. This is one they need. They've gone all in. Jame almost gets absolutely destroyed, but he gets the pick. Could it be at the cost of the bomb site? The bomb's coming back to B.
That repeat, how dare he?
What a call
KRIMZ
from
is ready.
fnatic.
Qikert's dropped, but Roy's on the bomb site at the same time. They're Outsiders in Outsiders. 3-on-3 now. Chiron trying to rotate, but look at these positions from fnatic. Fame's got a rifle now, 2-on-2 as that bomb starts to get planted. Jame and Fame, no kit in a dire situation. They have to be successful here. KRIMZ tagged, but still alive. mezii moving right off the pillar. KRIMZ able to escape. 14 rounds look likely now. And Outsiders are in trouble.
So much chaos in this round. I mean, the pre-fire onto Jame, that could have been crazy. But he still gets the pick. I think the main thing for fnatic was, again, it just looks so much more decisive now. The earlier rounds, they were always getting stalled out. In this one, they had a player just rushing onto that A site, causing all the chaos. And it wasn't just a last-second call to go back to B. It looked like that was the plan the whole damn time.
Dude, this is hostile energy from nicoodoz.
X-ray off.
He actually comes back. Look at that. That is hostile energy. Exactly the energy he needs to bring. No respect whether he won it or lost it. It's psychological warfare. My God, that peak from nicoodoz is obscene.
A lot of people have wondered whether he's the weak point of fnatic. A lot of discussion about that. He's top fragging right now.
Disrespectful plays like that carry the torch that JW left behind for fnatic. That is on brand for the badge they wear on their jerseys. But there's still more work to do. FAMAS for Chiron, FAMAS for Qikert. But as we have seen, no matter what the tools, Outsiders are very capable.
James solo A right now. Has another smoke to put into the bathrooms. And now we might start to see a shift in setup, a rotate arriving. Jay might not need it though. Oh, he spots the shadow, almost a lineup. And he's gonna get back to a safe angle, looking for more. They want to close the distance and they're gonna try and wrap around him.
Oh, the angle though, the angle he's holding, they've got to take him from the inside because the CTs are coming. Well, he's bought time for his team. Look at the positions now. Fame on the bomb site. Chiron's here as well. And it's working. 29 seconds and they're delivering all the frags. James staying alive, staying deep enough to keep fnatic static, allowed Outsiders to take their positions and secure the round and the AWP.
Yeah, and then the crossfires on the site are pretty easy to play at that point. Once you've got such a hefty rotate, once you win the first fight, you know the attention will be on Chiron. And it's easy pickings for his teammate. And Chiron's the one making the noise right now. Outsiders, often a quiet team, but he is hyped right now.
Pendulum swings. fnatic are broken. Their turn to eco. Tooth and nail in the dying rounds of this series. But fnatic have one of the more uncomfortable cushions in this 3 rounds. Likely soon to be 2. There are some Desert Eagles on road, though. Silent creep. Roy with the Glock positions himself. If Fame goes a little deeper, then he'll see him. But he's focused on the gap of Divider, where mezii carries the bomb. Fashion's shadow will betray him. Roy will try to trade. He will with the Glock, and now he's got a rifle to collect. Jame does not want the orb to get into the wrong hands, but look at the angles that Roy has been able to find. There's a smoke, but Chiron just charges through to clean up the mess on the A-bomb site. That timing is so urgent. If he gets a hold of that smoke, then who knows what happens. KRIMZ trying to do some damage, but 4 will survive, and that will be fine for Outsiders as they make it to 12.
Clean as hell from Chiron. The opening game for both of these teams in Group B, and they are already being pushed to the limit. Winner goes through to that upper semi-final against Vitality. It's not like it gets easier, but it could be either of these teams right now with what we're seeing from them. It was a good rotation this time from Chiron, playing that rotator role between the bomb sites. For fnatic, a buy should be coming through into this one. But Outsiders do seem a little more comfortable now. I think these timeouts may help fnatic more though. It seems like when these timeouts come through, they come up with a plan that they can all commit to. And it really seems like that's when they are at their best, when they're not getting stalled out, when there's no hesitation behind the plan in the round. Passive setup from Outsiders, again with Jame alone towards A initially on that orb.
Yeah, they've been passive, just spotting for so many rounds in that position. Perhaps he can catch somebody off guard. But we've seen those anti-orb utility pieces thrown by fnatic already. That molly towards Divider in rounds prior, not on this occasion. But still, the creep towards A is a dangerous one. There'll be no lurker towards B as KRIMZ moves on. Fame often seen at the bogs, now pushing up long to find some info. Have a look at that from Jame, delivers the frag. He knows his back on long is covered as well. As we can see, Fasha tried to take the position and he'll be successful. They know that Jame is stuck now, pushing very, very close indeed. But what of the A bomb site? We have Flit and Chiron rotating there in the meantime, delivering some frags. Great warbang from Jame, and nicoodoz is alone. They leave Jame on an island, but still Outsiders deliver. Again, he's just pulling people to focus on him. They take the bomb site, but for how long? Reinforcements come through and deliver once again, as they often do for Outsiders.
Oh no, mezii, no! In his own molly, he tries to get to long, but he goes down. And yeah, that rotate, again, so solid from Chiron. It looked so good for fnatic. Jame looked like he was in so much trouble after Fame lost that fight. But Jame always seems to find a way out, always knows how to keep himself safe. And that's what was needed there. And that was the all-in investment from fnatic. They are 14-13 up, but they are out of money for this round.
3 rounds in a row they had when they decimated the money of Outsiders. Again, ignoring the pistol, that's the only success, the only measurable success that fnatic have had in this half. They are likely to soon lose the lead. Next round has to be the round for fnatic. As for Outsiders, they have been taken all the way by fnatic. But we don't know where the road ends in this series, or who it ends for. Who goes to semis, who goes to a longer journey. 2 smokes in the hands of fnatic.
Oh,
Jame fishing a little bit more now. Rifle support in connector this time.
yeah, they got B short control, so Fame can comfortably slink away. Maybe not that comfortable. He's actually been caught on his retreat. Now Flit will come in to make sure no AK can be recovered by fnatic. And this is a no-nonsense round from Jame so far. Landing a couple of good shots. Smokes won't obscure the vision of Jame. They've also got a rifle up close. Just make sure, Jame, you know what Chiron's covering. Chiron will now cover his teammate.
It's quite some rifle support. Chiron protecting Jame. Big body bodyguard. Well then, we're going to all the rounds. All eyes on fnatic, really, because it has been a lion's share in this half for Outsiders. And I think the question to be answered in this round is, can they? 5 AKs on deck, plenty of utility. Pushing the A site, once they can close in on the A site, but pushing it proves very difficult. Outsiders have got those oppressive smoke grenades. They have the angles, and they have the frags. But first we start with the beginning. Lots of flashes. Anti-AWP plays coming through from fnatic. See if they go for their usual utility towards toilet affairs. Jame is by divider, falling back towards the site now. Minute 20. You can see the bomb outside Monster for the time being. But will they continue to show presence towards A?
Outsiders have just been so happy playing this passive setup.
He's going to peek them. He is going to peek them. Exactly this. That trajectory tells a story. Now they're going to start to build. They actually have a flash on this A bomb site as well. Completely silent towards B. You can see Chiron moving back and forth, and it will be a play in the smoke. Have a look at that pop flash. That was a meaty one, but still down goes KRIMZ. Qikert has help from Flint. The counter flash. 3 remaining, 30 seconds on the clock. Bomb still outside Monster. Advantage, oh, Outsiders, but Roy, again, dependable. Great presence of mind with the wallbang, trying to harass the rotation as well. 20 seconds. Moving through Monster now.
No smoke for Heaven.
Not much utility left, 15 seconds. They need to get on that bomb plant. Jame has the angle though, down goes Roy, bombs on the floor. Thatcher, last one to fall. Match point Outsiders. No plants again, money's gonna be tight.
Outsiders have grinded their way back into this game, as they always seem to do. In Outsiders fashion, it has to go the distance, but they seem to be the best when it goes the distance. fnatic not finding the way in, even with this wallbang. It's just that initial hold that was so solid, and Jame loves to get into positions like this, where there's no nades, easy shots. And it's dejected for fnatic. As you said, the buy not ideal. But at least it's rifles across the board, even if it is mostly Galils. I like this a little more. Just take some liberties early, because Outsiders are giving you so much space. It's nicoodoz who's been the ballsy player. He might catch Jame, but he doesn't quite line up the shot.
That's not a shot that they can afford to miss. Jame spots him fall back as well. Feint creeping around. Roy snaps him though. There is still a chance. Look at their response. The double grenades. They are ready with an instant response. Still over a minute on the clock for fnatic. They still have a lurker towards short B. Options are open. Roy creeping again. Chiron looking to his right, but still delivering a frag. High pressure scenario. Mezii to trade. They haven't seen a bomb though. Sitting on the bench. Outsiders focus on the B bomb site. And where are fnatic going? They're going towards B. Qikert has a lot of space behind this smoke grenade. There is time though. Jame with a rare miss. Not now, surely. Fasha's the one to fall. Qikert trying to bluff with his teammate, but here's a trade by KRIMZ. 2-on-2, 35 seconds. No util for fnatic. They have to frag out. Jame 11 HP, but look at the angle he's holding. 28 seconds. nicoodoz has a look, and down he goes. 1v1 now, 23 seconds. Jame 11 HP. KRIMZ, does he commit to the peak? Or does he commit to the plant? 16 seconds to decide. He hasn't even got the bomb. Picks it up now. Convinced James on the low ground. Going for the fake. Jame peeks and it's overtime.
Can you believe it? fnatic make it work. I thought Jame had the angle again from Heaven, but this time his teammates get dealt with. And they've just got to go straight into it. They've got to get themselves back in the right mindset. Oh, that first miss. I mean, he made up for it, but that's what made him get dinked. That's what allows KRIMZ a much easier one-on-one. Still hit the headshot anyway. Man's a baller, but we're straight into overtime.
fnatic have smoked the CT side of the tunnel to potentially threaten a burst into the site. Maybe it invites more utility, I would say that, but look at outsiders. They're holding on to almost everything. They're non-believers. Well, fnatic have managed to stay alive for now.
Here's the thing, the way fnatic win that round though, oh, good damage onto Qikert. The way they win that round, they kind of just went for a more confident push, right? Like nicoodoz just running up long. You see the mentality shift almost. Maybe they need more of that. Fame looking for the fight on long, but nicoodoz was ready with the AWP. Another man advantage for fnatic. Is it another one they can close?
A fnatic pilgrimage towards B. They come bearing gifts. Flit and Qikert moving together. Qikert around the barrels. Focusing on short now. Can they hear him rotating? 30 seconds. Do they wait in the smoke? If he sprays them, they'll lose so many. The flashes are here. Can he find two? Looking for the transfer. They've got to push through the smoke now. Flit has the angle on the tunnel. KRIMZ traded. Look at that transfer. Outrageous from Flit. And outsiders are in the lead once again.
Man advantage this time completely snuffed out for fnatic. Outsiders get their utility down at the right time, and fnatic can't clear this close corner. Qikert does massive damage. Flit clearly had that communicated to him. Just starts spraying, and once he sees them, the transfer is on point.
A dance of utility.
Just takes years off your life, man. Oh, we got the boost. So hard to get the pick with that nowadays.
Throwing something else into it. Over time, things can always get weird. So, the flashbang forces an incendiary. If fnatic can get outsiders to use their util early, and maybe that was the plan. Again, that smoke we saw at the beginning of the round, you may be seeing a replay at the moment, but I did call it. There was a smoke on the CT side of the tunnel, maybe to try and invite some extra utility for later. Didn't quite work out as we saw there, because the utility was key to those jewels for outsiders. But what's the next step for fnatic? They know Jame's lurking somewhere. He's enjoyed the frags towards Divider. All right then, there's the opening kill. Short B has been secured. What is the response? Oh, such a strong angle. Divider or connector. He's seen the rotation towards B. That's a good clue for outsiders. They're using most of their util. There's 30 seconds left. Knife out. And down goes Fasha. Mezii's here to trade, though. That's the bomb spotted. Look at the rotation from the CTs. Flit and Chiron on the way. Jame has angles as well. And the element of surprise. But the flash comes in. They still need to plant, though. We're getting close to 10 seconds. They've got to clear the bomb site. Jame's still alive. But mezii refuses to die, or does he? Collateral, nicoodoz to trade. These rounds are going down to the wire.
They had the one flashbang. It gets Jame off the angle. Then Jame gets a lineup. And it comes down to AWP v AWP. It's another round where fnatic make a call with confidence. This time in the late round, they go back to the A-bomb site instantly. It was the right call. And they almost still were punished. But this time, nicoodoz able to trade. This is anyone's game.
What a time for a collat. Deciding round of the first half. Who takes the lead? I think fnatic need this a lot more than the outsiders might. T-side has been a struggle versus the methodology and depth of outsiders.
I think nicoodoz is feeling it again. He's looking for a contact play, looking for a pick at the same time as the boost.
Qikert almost showing an elbow. But he knows exactly where he is standing. Oh, Chiron gets his bell rung. But alive means dangerous. Double nades elsewhere. They won't connect. Flit manages to avoid those. Moves to the pillar. Minutes on the clock. Roy's looking for info. Fasher by the toilets. fnatic have a good spread. KRIMZ in position at short B. Bomb can be rotated in either direction. Collected by mezii. 47 seconds on the clock. That would feel like an eternity in this series. Jame still hanging out by the toilets as he has been. KRIMZ with a flash. That'll go behind Qikert. Manages to avoid them. Standing in the smoke now. Bomb heading towards short. Clock running down. Utility low. Qikert still has an incendiary. Eats a flashbang this time. But still, where is the opening frag going to be? Molly by the barrels. That is huge. Look at the rotation.
Roy heard it.
Outsiders are taking the bait, but James starts to wonder. Roy's got position. James says hello to Fasher. Looking for the bomb carrier as well. Shorty goes back to the well for a flick. 10 seconds. Can they can't stop the bomb from being planted. Multiple going towards the bank. Just a flash for mezii. No util for outsiders. 5 versus 4. Starting to swing now. So many coming, but only one for Roy. They're losing position fnatic. James going to be able to post up. They've all got defuse kits. Look at the boost from nicoodoz. Sees one up top. That's James taken down. Do they have angles on the bomb? Another attempt now. Another flick for nicoodoz. 20 HP for him. No one defusing just yet. Pushing the toilets now. Chiron in the red. There's the trade. mezii comes through. Looking for the last one. 1 round lead goes to fnatic as they move to CT.
mezii gets there just in time. These rounds couldn't be closer.
This is insane.
Nail biters. Every single one of them. Look at this from mezii. The time on this defuse. Oh my! How close is that?
Man like mezii coming through. But can they go all the way through? Because still, there is more work to do. What a slobber knocker. We're not done just yet. nicoodoz back on his usual. Very aggressive angles held. He's got rifle support in Roy. Outsiders know that he likes to get up to some nonsense. He wants to be aggressive versus them. They'll try to take these angles away. Suddenly, Roy's in CT spawn.
Yeah, you really get to see the difference in approach of these AWPers on this CT side of Overpass. Jame is always sitting back, always in the bathrooms. nicoodoz happy to duel, but in this round, figures he's safer playing back. We've also got Roy playing in those long bathrooms. So the info for fnatic here is still strong towards A. They can see that there's not much presence right now from outsiders towards A. So I have to think these B players should be ready for a potential pop.
I can't remember a T round where outsiders did that basic smoke and molly to take AWP angles away. But still, there are 2 by the toilets. Roy starting to move now. Realizing, but will nicoodoz start rotating? He's still in position. 24 seconds. 24 seconds. KRIMZ won't deliver. Roy and KRIMZ dropped, but there's still players on the site here. Fasher with the pre-fire. Bomb on the floor. Flit's got so much to do. Fasher with the multi-frag. James got 10 seconds now. 1 versus 2. He needs the frags, really. He has to open, wants to keep it. And fnatic will move to match point.
18 on the board, confirmed. Outsiders unable to find their way into B. It looks scary initially once those first 2 kills come in, but fnatic were well prepared. They got the info. And again, it comes back to fnatic just having the confidence to take the space, get a bit of information at the right time. Even if Roy goes down, it allows this B stack to be so much stronger because there's such little time left.
2 chances versus outsiders. 2 chances. nicoodoz heads towards B this time, actually, with Roy swinging into the playground. Fame knows there could be trouble, or does he? Starting to push. Flashes from both sides. mezii moving forward now. Flit dropped. Bomb's still pretty far back, though. nicoodoz has to be careful. Qikert's to his right-hand side. No one's here to throw a molly for him. 3 players on Monster. Big focus from fnatic on the B bomb site as mezii falls all the way back on A. KRIMZ is convinced that he has an opportunity here. Oh, that's a huge frag from him. They're pushing Monster at the same time, though. Flashes are here as well. nicoodoz posting up. The grenade will do the job. Jame and Fame remain. And now it's just down to Jame. 1 versus 3. And fnatic have done it. They've taken down the outsiders, finally, on a very tough series that finishes on Overpass.
The opening match for both teams said it couldn't have been more difficult for them, but fnatic hold on. We were saying it's so hard to actually beat outsiders in those crunch time moments. Well, fnatic gained the confidence when they needed to. They started making info plays, and that's what was the difference maker in